goat and pig farming. Empowerment, getting them organized, transforming for future. Creating markets, giving value for money. Word of voice for a better business environment.
Good production standards to help them grow. Feed cost reduction, partnerships and mentoring. Calling for youth and the women to participate. Access to finance, cheap loans from formal banks. Goats and pig farmers.
We're here to empower.
My name is Peter Tatenda Musavaya. I am a farmer on Mafuti Farm, which is in Ward 29 in Chegutu, and I happen to be the chairperson in as far as pig production is concerned for this particular ward and 3 others, and I happen to be also the district chairperson for the syndicate, as well as I'm also the champion farmer for the district for the syndicate. For well over 7 years. Started off with a very small, in fact I started off with a pet pig, and then eventually I thought there might be a business interest, and I got myself a boar and 5 sows, and the interest grew. The business, that potential that was there also grew, and eventually I grew this to be a 60 sow unit serviced by 2 boars. It's been a wonderful trip with the pigs. It's something that I highly recommend, something that I enjoy working with. The returns are very quick. The animal itself is a wonderful animal to work with. We do, however, face challenges here and there. For example, we've just come out of a 3-year drought, and one of the key things pig production is feed. Normally, as a farmer, you would need to be in a position to produce your own feed, but obviously with the drought as it was, all the reserve, all the stock got depleted, where you end up with a challenge to feed these guys. You end up digging into your pocket in order to buy maize, in order to buy feed, and that becomes a little bit regressive rather than progressive. We're just hoping with this new season that we've got enough rains in order to curb some of the challenges that we are facing. Apart from feed, obviously in a place like this, there is, at a given time, sometimes as many as 500 pigs at a time. It is your medicines that are proving sometimes not to be available, but apart from their availability, sometimes they become rather expensive in this beautiful country of ours. So those are some of the challenges we as pig farmers face. But generally, we keep at it because it's worth it. We need to feed the nation. We need to feed ourselves. One other thing I could possibly talk about is the market. Sometimes, because of lack of abattoirs, we, as farmers, get prices dictated to us that are obviously given the fact that food was lacking, or you had to fight hard to get food, your medicines was hard, your input becomes greater than what you would eventually pull out or get out of the pig. So these are the challenges that we face. We've got a few things lined up which I believe are really going to help the farmers. As a champion farmer, we are looking at, first of all, improving our breed so that we maximize on the type of pig that we've got in terms of the farrowing, that we're getting the full potential, that you're not getting a sow giving you 4 or 5 piglets and you call yourself to be in business, you're looking at 10 and above. So improved genetics is one of the ways that we are going to actually really help ourselves and fellow farmers around us. From a champion point of view, going to the anchor point of view, we'll be able to actually really distribute new genes, a new bloodline, and hopefully be in a position where we've got a healthy herd within the country. That's the first point. The second point is that we're not looking only at enhancing the genetics. It's an important thing, yes, but it needs to be backed up by obviously your feeding. As I mentioned earlier on, a lot of us farmers have been finding it difficult to maintain the feed, but as the syndicate is proposing to do, we want to actually bring in all the feed so that they're centralized, and then we, using the champion and anchor system, be in a position to distribute the food. When I say distribute, I don't mean we're going to offer it for free, but it is going to be at a competitive price first and foremost, and it will be then obviously within reach, and not necessarily in Harare or in the major towns. It will be here amongst us so that it cuts costs for the farmers, costs such as transport, and obviously because we are going to be the producers of the feed, obviously the cost of buying it is going to be somewhat better. We're looking at the medical side of it, the veterinary side of things. Again, our medicines are found in town and so on. We could be in a position as farmers to find out what it is that we need as pig farmers, bring it in, and then our people around us can be within walking or a short drive's distance to be in a position to obtain these drugs once we've actually brought them in on a bulk basis. And that, I think, is going to help a lot within the region, within the district. Well, government or the country as a whole. First of all, as a syndicate, we're trying to look at the market issue, especially, and in particular that when that is addressed, and if we address it ourselves, we are now in a position to get the small-scale farmers whose voice is not heard to be part of a syndicate where it starts making sense for them to be pork producers. When you've got a huge scenario with 100 sow unit, that person has got a voice, he can be heard. But if you've got Gogo with her 2 pigs, and she's managing to bring in maybe 10 piglets to the market every now and again, she is not recognized, she is not known, she actually does not know where to go, and she's swallowed by the system. Whereas if managed properly, and if the government can assist, or if the syndicate can actually enhance it, Gogo can be part and parcel of a community that produces pigs, and then the community can be part and parcel of the huge or the bigger picture when it comes to abattoirs, slaughters, marketing, and so on. So there's a lot to be done in as far as that is concerned, but I think we found a good footing or a good method that we're going to include everybody, so that they start seeing the business value or the market value of actually producing pigs. Well, the vision is big. The vision is big. I sincerely believe that the pork industry has been it had been a monopoly for a long time, and I think the potential to actually sustain or to feed the nation was not being realized because it was centralized. And I think with this module that we're dealing with as a syndicate, we are addressing a lot of issues whereby as a community, if we're going to be able to bring in 200 pigs for slaughter per week, instead of an individual bringing in 5, we are addressing the bigger picture, so to speak. I am seeing situations where we can grow our own abattoirs, increase the capacity, and add value to our own products and thrive in such a case. Well, that is a very broad topic. In terms of intervention, it's difficult to actually turn around and say what can the policymakers do for us, because inevitably as farmers what we all want or what we need is for our produce to end up in the market. Obviously that is a little bit inhibited at the moment, but look, I think COVID-19 itself and how it is reduced or eliminated will determine how best we can act or react in such a situation. It's difficult to actually think of a particular policy or anything that a policymaker can do, particularly to enhance our production here. There's been a drastic change. There's been a huge change where a lot of walk-in clients were available, or where we would drive our trucks with 60 porkers for slaughter. There was a time obviously between March and now where that was not allowed and that was not happening. We ended up with excess stock in as far as the weaners that grow from weaners to porkers to baconers without us being able to move them, and obviously that bears a lot of weight on feed, and so you're feeding the animal, you're not realizing profit from it because you can't move it. So there was a huge negative impact on everybody, but obviously as pig farmers as well, we were tremendously affected.